So we've just finished up 5 weeks. It's gone by pretty quick, I would say.
Yeah, it was good, but quick.
Okay. Let's talk about your clean eating principles. I have them from before sitting next to me, and we'll just do a little comparison of how things look now. So let's start with consistency. What did that look like before? What does that look like now?
Yeah, so I would say I was very consistent with my breakfast routine before. So every morning had a breakfast smoothie. During the week, I should say I was consistent. So my weekends were not as consistent. But now I'd say I'm more consistent with not only the breakfast smoothie, but my snacks throughout the day as well, trying to get more of that protein in. And then throughout the whole week, which includes the weekends as well. And I'm going to add drinking water consistently as well. Trying to work on that still.
We talked about that the other day. And that was like something. So it's funny because I actually have like drinking water written down as consistency from before, but maybe like having the realization kind of talk about that.
So I think what happened is I was consistently drinking water at work. I have my routine. I have my 2 water bottles. I make sure I drink both of them before lunch, and then I fill them up and I drink them both again before I leave work. And then I realized when I was tracking water through my FitnessPal that I don't drink any water on the weekends. And so I was like, oh, okay, so this is a problem. We need to figure this out. So yeah.
Found some consistency with the water intake then.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that sounds good. Yeah, I know like there wasn't a whole lot we needed to change going into nutrition when we started out. Because you had really good consistency to start with. You ate plenty and still do eat plenty of whole foods. But I do think that once we get into some of these other parts, we'll see some changes that were made. Was there anything else you wanted to share with consistency?
No, I think that's covers it.
Cool. Yeah. So a little more just like consistent throughout the whole week instead of just Monday through Friday, like the work week.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Liquids. Let's talk about those.
Liquids. So yeah, I think that was something that I just need to be aware of as well. Like I said, drinking more water on the weekends, and then counting all of those alcoholic beverages as calories as well. They add up quickly. So just was able to become more aware of that throughout the 5 weeks too, which I thought was super helpful.
Yeah. I think often we forget that liquid calories are a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Nice. So not too much of a change there. You still don't do a whole lot of coffee, don't do soda.
No. I will say though that I think you and I talked about LaCroix at one point. So I have added that in as well. So I've jumped on the LaCroix train, which is
they're so good. What's your favorite flavor?
So I'm pretty basic and just like the lime. But then I recently had the limoncello, I think is how you say it. And that was pretty good too. Again, still kind of basic, but I'm just starting to dabble. So
yeah, I've heard that the limoncello is actually really good too. I tried the coconut recently, and I'm a fan of that one.
Okay, I'll have to remember that.
Cool. Eating out. What did that look like before? What does that look like now?
Yeah, so eating out my decisions when I was eating out was definitely like a last minute thing. And it was honestly based on kind of what everyone else around me was getting. So if they were getting like a pasta dish, then I was also probably going to end up getting a pasta dish. And I think throughout the 5 weeks, I figured out that doesn't really work with the goals that I have. So knowing where we're eating and then going in and easily looking at the menu beforehand, figuring that out, and then sticking to it, I think was the hardest thing for me. So,
yeah. Cool. Yeah, and like I have written down, like you brought your lunch to work every day before.
Yep.
So that wasn't really a super big thing to change. And then like Jimmy John's, Qdoba, stuff like that, which isn't too bad. And like it's easy to, I'm sure you've realized it now too. Like there's a way to eat healthy when we eat out.
Yeah.
Adequate calories. How did you feel about that before versus how you feel about that now?
So I think that actually that's probably something that was inconsistent as well. So eating too many calories, especially on the weekends and sometimes throughout the week if I was going out with friends or that kind of thing. So it's just been super beneficial to be more aware of how many calories I'm putting into my body.
Yeah. So what did like after starting nutrition and seeing the amount of calories things are, what changes were kind of made throughout your weeks and your weekends to start fitting your macros and your calories a little bit better?
Yeah, so I think it was super easy for me to kind of pre-plan everything. So knowing that I had that breakfast smoothie, kind of changing that up just a little bit, tweaking that with some of the protein powder that I was using and some of the ratios. I think the ratios thing was a major thing for me too. So eating more chicken than what I was previously, um, and eating more fruits and veggies, but still keeping that protein as a priority.
Yeah. I know we talked a little bit too in the weeks about like carbs. We have your macros set to 25% carbs, 40% fat, 35% protein because your goal is to lean into your muscles.
Yep.
So I know that a conversation that we had a little bit from the beginning was about the amount of carbs things actually are, or like peanut butter. It's sneaky, right? It's one of
Yeah.
those we don't realize how heavy in calorie it is until we start becoming aware of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was eating the natural peanut butter. It's just literally peanuts and salt. And I'm like, yeah, this is really good for me. And then it was like, holy cow, I'm eating so many calories.
Yeah. And then nutritious foods. Let's talk about that and kind of like your intake with them and how we kind of had to change that a little bit here and there.
Yeah. So, like you said, my percentages are lower carbs. And I think at the beginning of the 5 weeks, it was like I was eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, but that was mainly carbs. So, which I didn't realize carbs is in pretty much everything, which isn't a bad thing, but it was just, yeah, that was just something that I had to figure out. So, um, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, quality, like I said, quality wasn't really a big issue, but to start with either. I lots of veggies, and like from week one, after looking at your food log, I was like, wow, she does eat really well. We just need to tweak a little thing, some things here and there, like how much of something that we're eating, or like if we're pairing two things together, but they're both carbs, it's like maybe we should just do one, just
Right.
because of the way those macros are set.
Yeah.
What has been one lifestyle habit that you've created since starting nutrition?
So my water intake is definitely something that I've changed or added, especially on the weekends. And then I've also switched up the snacks that I'm eating during the day. So I used to religiously have an apple and peanut butter, and now I've gotten back into the yogurt snack realm, I guess you could say. So those are just a couple small tweaks that we've made. And then, yeah, being more aware that I can have more protein. I think I really love taco salads. And so just adding more ground beef is an easy way to throw in some more protein.
Yeah.
Just to change up the ratios a little bit. Not a big deal.
How have your workouts been feeling?
Workouts have been feeling good. I feel like I've been more energetic, and I feel like recovery has been going a lot better. So yeah, that I've been happy with that too.
Nice. And then, so other than like a habit that you've created, what has been the biggest change with food and nutrition that you've kind of overcome or witnessed throughout the 5 weeks?
I think that I have a different outlook on food. So, and again, it's all about balance. But yeah, I think you sign off all of your emails like, remember, food is fuel. I'm like, yeah, that's right. It is. So, but at the same time, like I can go out with friends and still enjoy good conversation over food while still keeping that in the back of my mind. So, like I
Absolutely.
said, I think
What
it's
was
definitely a balance. Yeah.
what was your outlook like before?
Um, Honestly, I don't know if I really thought about it that much. So, yeah, it was just something that I knew I had to eat, and I enjoyed what I ate, and I am still enjoying what I eat, but now I'm just so much more knowledgeable about why I'm putting in certain food, why I'm eating certain foods, and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that. And then a scale 1 to 5, if you could rate your nutrition, what would you say it's at now?
I would say it's at least a 4.
Okay. We said 3.5 last time.
Okay. So it's
That's
an improvement.
yeah. What do you feel like you could change to make that a 5, or do you want to get to the point of your nutrition being a 5? What do you think about that?
So yeah, I think this past 5 weeks for me was more of a educational thing. And I loved having you as an accountability partner to make sure that I was getting those macro percentages in. I don't know. And like you said, I think it takes a lot of practice to like dial those in more. So I think that if I were to continue to do this, and I will continue to do this, it's hopefully going to get easier to be able to throw a meal plan together for a day and not have to switch stuff up and that kind of thing. So I think that's why I'm not quite at a 5 yet, is because I'm still learning about how much everything takes to like make sure that my macros are dialed in.
Yeah, I said this in my last video with one of my other clients, but you don't necessarily want to be a 5 all the time and
Right.
everything, right? Like you do that and you just lose opportunity to grow, whether it's with nutrition, working out, your work, or anything in general. It's like once you say you're a perfect 5, like where do you still have room to grow with something if you don't think that you can? So
Yeah.
I think a 4 is good. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, at all. That's a pretty high number on the rating, and like you said, it's an improvement. So,
Yeah. Cool.
cool. I like this. Whenever you come into the gym next, get your InBody done, and
Okay.
then send me some photos, your after photos, and see what those
Okay.
look like. To be completely honest, you definitely look leaner, like in your
Yeah,
arms.
I know. Thank you. I've gotten so many compliments. Everyone's like, have you lost weight? And I'm like, no, I've actually gained some muscle, but thank you. So
Nice. I love it.
you too. That's a huge compliment coming from you. I'm excited about that.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about nutrition before we wrap up here?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
It's been fun.
It has. Thank
I
you for
know.
working with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I learned a ton from you. So I'm
Good.
excited about that. Yeah.
That's all I want for you guys, just to create a good base and knowledge of nutrition. Because I think it's something that it flies under the radar for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Jess.
Yeah, thank you.